I do, but I believe that only my view gives a moral justification, and I believe that your view does not.
Well,
so
I
I'll
wanna
give
hear
you
your
mine.
view.
Okay, so my moral justification is that I make an appeal, and I ground my epistemology and ontology in Jesus Christ. And I think that you can't get to knowledge philosophically without having grounding. So the thing is like, that's how I would ground my morals for you ought not do that. However, the problem that you have is that secular states are rising up everywhere. And the appeal to Jesus Christ is not rising up. And so if it's the case that secularism cannot make an appeal for why men ought not do this outside of preference, then aren't you just laid bare by men's preference? Like whenever they decide that they prefer to do this, right? What moral thing can you appeal to other than your own preferences that they don't?
Wait, so you exclusively believe that something is moral or immoral based on whether or not God told you it was moral?
Based on
or
Christian
immoral?
ethics, divine command, and church history, apostolic succession, the grounding of understanding the transcendentals, which are required to be grounded in God for them to even exist.
Okay, but the wisdom of God has to be translated through man.
So what?
So then your morality isn't based on God. It's based on somebody else's interpretation of God's will.
So then if all it does is get us back to preferences, right? I'm fine with that too.
So you're back to this preference-based sense of morality.
So
okay.
if that's the case...
Which was justifying slavery. Okay,
yeah,
so can I just...
Yes, your morality justifies slavery. I agree. Yes.
No, but Andrew,
yes.
You're the one who believes in preference-based morality. You have
So
said
do
that.
you.
Oh, no, I don't.
Then give me the grounding where it's not preference-based.
I believe that morality is objective.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
Then
I've said it multiple times.
Objective means exist absent minds.
Yes. I do believe that morality
So where does it
exists
exist absent minds?
Well, it's not a physical concept.
Then if all human beings died tomorrow, is there things that are still moral or immoral?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, there's other life on Earth, Andrew.
So if a lion eats a fucking rabbit, is it moral?
Well, no. I mean, yes, sorry.
It is?
It's a form of sustenance. I mean, we eat chicken every time.
Wait a second. So
you don't believe that
hang on. So if it's the case, hang on. I'm making sure I got this right. If it's the case that all human beings on planet Earth are dead, there's no more minds. There is still there is still morality.
But there are still minds.
Yeah,
I
know.
Monkeys
I know.
And tigers
yeah, that's
and lions.
no.
There are still minds.
Oh, okay. So how does morality exist then? Is it monkey morality?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
So is there objective human morality?
I think that there is objective human morality.
Okay, so how does it exist absent mind? You got to get her to answer, dude. She's just going to pivot.
Because there's other animals on Earth.
You got to answer this question. Listen, you have to answer this. All human minds are gone. All of them. Okay. Everyone. There was a plague and every human died, right? What would then make a thing objectively moral or immoral? Meaning, there's no more minds, and it exists somewhere as being moral or immoral, absent an interpreter.
Yeah, I mean, the concept of objective morality would still exist.
How? There's no minds.
No one there to see
Then
it.
who could come up with the concept?
It already exists.
How could it exist without you coming up with it?
Because we're already alive. We're here right now. So just because we died tomorrow doesn't mean what happened hasn't already happened.
If you're all dead, if everyone's dead, how can concepts exist?
Okay, Andrew, I'll humor you. If humans never existed, then human morality would not exist either.
No, so if humans no longer exist, then human morality also no longer exists.
Well, it was already invented. It already exists. So yes, we would be gone, like we wouldn't be there to record it, but it still exists. It's a concept.
Where does it exist?
A concept is immortal.
No, concepts are not immortal.
Well, people wrote them down, so it's there.
Who's there to read them?
Nobody, so it doesn't get...
So then how did they exist?
It doesn't matter, but it still exists.
No, it doesn't.
Something can exist without mattering.
Where could it possibly exist?
In a book. Have you seen one?
A book that nobody can read?
Yes, so
because nobody's there?
But it still exists.
How does a concept...
Andrew, there's a difference between existence and whether or not and importance.
I would agree a book would exist and a book would have words on it.
So if somebody wrote down all of the objective moral principles that we have learned through humanity and basic human instincts and human experience, it would still exist.
No, just the book would exist, not the concept.
The concept is in the book. There's words in books. That's why we read them.
Doesn't a book require a mind to interpret it?
Sure, so it wouldn't matter, but it still exists.
Only the book exists.
Yes. And the book has the concept in it. Oh my God. There is a recorded version of this concept. So it continues to exist, but there is no one there to observe it.
So
do you not get that?
Nope, not at all. How does a concept exist if somebody's not around to observe it?
If a tree falls, it exists because it was created and documented, right? And now humans no longer exist, but the concept is still there. Just like the Diary of Anne Frank still exists, even though she doesn't, right? The concepts that she wrote in that book are still there, even though she isn't. That's why we fucking write things down.
Do books require interpreters?
Yes, so it wouldn't matter at that point, but it still exists.
So, hang on. A book exists. Yes. A concept does not exist because it requires a mind and an interpreter.
The concept does exist.
No.
It just doesn't matter.
No.
Yes.
No. No,
human morality would still exist, but if there's no humans, then it doesn't matter.
Help me out here. Let us pretend for a moment that you came across a book full of alien writings that had all of their morals in it.
Sure.
And you couldn't read the book.
Okay.
And all these aliens were dead.
Okay.
How could the concept now exist?
Well, the concept is still there and it still exists, but the humans don't. Or the aliens don't. Andrew, do you not understand when something can be objective without being physical? Like, something can exist if it didn't have a physical form. Dude, we got to put you in like a biology class or something. How do you not get this? Like, why are we going around in circles about this? It's kind of a basic concept.
Yeah, and I'm basically trying to figure this out.
And you're basically struggling hard.
That's true. I am totally struggling with this.
You don't think that something can exist even after... It doesn't matter. It's not important anymore because humans aren't there. But it still happened and it still exists.
So do you think that if I write a concept down on a piece of paper, like do not kill all men named Chuck.
Okay.
All men named Chuck, right? And I die.
Okay.
Okay. And there's nobody around. Is it now objectively true that it is immoral to not kill Chuck?
Well, you don't get to decide objective morality as an individual.
Then who does?
It's a collective.
So the collective gets to decide.
Yes. So you think that it should be Sky Daddy, and I think it should be based on the will.
The collective will.
It's object morality on the basis of the experiences of the collective.
Okay, so
I do think that there is an objective good and bad.
So if I write,
I don't believe that the will is what determines that morality.
The whole of the law shall be, you do not kill Chuck. And the majority of people agree with me before I die, and we all die. Is that now what's objectively moral?
What the fuck are you talking about? Go back.
If most people agree with my only commandment of do not kill Chuck, and almost everybody agrees with me, and we all die, but I have left behind this little pamphlet that says do not kill Chuck, and it's now written down. Is that objectively moral now?
Well, it doesn't matter because we're all dead. So sure, maybe it is, but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It can still exist, but it doesn't matter. This is literally the point.
So is that objectively moral or not?
What the fuck? We're not talking about whether or not that is objectively moral. We're talking about whether or not something can exist after the human race dies.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, that was what you were not understanding.
We're only discussing objective versus subjective morality. The idea here is very simple, right? You keep on claiming that I believe that morality is based on preferences, but I keep demonstrating over and over again, so do you. And I don't know why you won't concede the point. You look ridiculous.
I don't look ridiculous. I'm not the one who just justified slavery based on your own version of prescriptive morality.
You don't understand how bad this is going to be. I'm telling you don't even understand how bad this is.
Well, I'm sure your fan will really appreciate it.
No,
now,
it's not my fan.
Can we go back
to... We can't because...
No, you
we
just
can't.
don't want to have to defend the morality of force doctrine. That's what this is about.
Well, how could
you don't want to defend the morality of using coercive power.
Is force doctrine objectively not moral?
I think that using coercive power against the consent of those you are using that power on is immoral.
Prove it.
It's immoral because it's causing human suffering.
And what grounds human suffering as being what is immoral?
I believe that natural law dictates human suffering is objectively bad. And so does your God.
So
we both agree on that in my secular framework and in your religious framework.
Well, hang on. Wait, you believe in a God?
No, I said in my secular framework and your religious framework.
I see. So what grounds natural rights as being objectively true?
I believe natural rights are grounded as being objectively true based on human experience.
So if humans have the experience are not true, are they still true?
What?
If a human being has an experience that tells them natural rights are not true, are they still true?
Well, that's a singular human. This is collective human experience.
So
I'm not a collectivist, just to clarify.
Okay, so collectively, if collectively human beings experiences that natural rights are not true or natural law is not true, then natural law is not true?
If collectively humans experience that natural laws are not true. Well, certain natural laws are just like killing is bad.
No, answer my question. If collectively human beings don't, through their own experience, do not believe natural laws are true, are they still true?
Well, let's pick a natural law. Suffering causes harm. Or harm causes suffering.
No, not always. Sometimes.
Harm causes, okay. Physical harm causes suffering.
No, only sometimes.
Non-consensual physical harm causes suffering.
Only
Even
sometimes.
if every human agreed that non-consensual physical harm causes suffering, if somebody stabbed Brian in the neck and he suffered because he was physically harmed, it's still true. Sorry,
it's
Brian.
true that he got stabbed in the neck, but
still causing
you haven't
physical
demonstrated
harm.
how it's true that that's immoral.
Because it's objectively true.
No, him getting stabbed in the neck is true, but how is it immoral?
Morality. I'm talking about natural laws being objective, even
Isn't
if
natural law the basis?
Disagree with them.
So is natural law a descriptor of like things that happen?
Some of them. Somewhat. I mean, suffering causing harm is not just a descriptor of things that happen.
Let's start with this. What is natural law? Let's just make sure I get it right.
Natural law is the collective belief that humans can define that there are objective truths about morality, about good and bad, based on human experience.
So it's collective belief.
It's not collective belief.
You just said natural law is the collective belief.
Okay, well, it's some people's belief that things can be that actions can be objectively.
So what is natural law? What is it?
It's the objective belief that some things are objectively good or bad.
What?
Oh my God, Andrew, you just really don't want to have to defend.
This is what I am defending it right now.
You're not defending the morality of forced doctrine because you have not made an opinion on whether or not forced doctrine is moral or immoral.
I did. No. I literally told you what my morality is.
So you believe that forced doctrine is moral?
Sometimes.
In which instances?
Well, I would say if you're utilizing forced doctrine, in the reasonable response to how the Lord would ask you to operate, then it would be fine.
In what instances would the Lord justify harm?
You mean harm? Well, all sorts of different instances.
Yes,
self-defense, for instance.
Okay.
Warfare, for instance.
What warfare?
There could be possibilities where you need. Well, you could.
What warfare has been justified by God?
Oh, tons of warfare has been justified by God.
Which ones?
You mean in the Old Testament?
No, I'm talking about currently what human warfare. I mean, God deciding to smite someone is not warfare. What human warfare has been justified by God?
Well, I don't know what that means. Justified by God.
When did we as a species go to war and God was like, that is good?
Oh, I mean, there was tons of times in the Old Testament where God where God ordered them. Sure, I'll pull up the scripture. Do you want the scriptures where God ordered people to go to war? Here you go. I mean, that's fucking crazy that you don't know this, but here you go. All right.
Man, this is your religion, Andrew. You shouldn't have to Google it.
Well, I just want to be precise.
That's fair.
Okay. Old Testament, God commands war. I mean, he wiped out the Nephilim. I mean, he did all kinds of things. So, key examples include the conquest of Canaan, where God commands the destruction of the Canaanites. I mean, that's one example right off the top of it. But he's actually many times created justifications for war.
So I guess I want to understand your morality a little bit because you have to familiarize me because I'm not myself a Christian. So because God justified that instance of war, do you believe that God is justifying all instances of war?
No.
Okay, so according to God, when is war justified and when is war not unjustified?
Well, that's a loaded question, but I'll try to answer it as best I can. Concepts of war are generally justified through the ideas of self-defense. The rigors of what would happen inside of collective warfare would necessarily have to follow Christian ethics. So you couldn't do things like essay women. You couldn't do any of those things. They would be restricted by the New Testament Gospels.
Okay, so would you say that it's fair to assert that God generally, because I know that do not kill is a commandment.
Do not murder.
Well, killing and murdering are equivalent, but
no, they're not the equivalent.
To an extent, but
not to an extent.
For the context of this debate. Oh, so now you're a lawyer. Okay, so we know that God says.
This is basic philosophy.
Hold on. I actually want to look that up.
Yeah, killing and murder are two different things.
I agree that killing and murdering
one is justified, one is not justified.
No, I agree that killing and murdering are different things, but I didn't know that God justified those. Oh, yeah, so it's thou shalt not kill. Okay.
It's thou shalt not murder.
I mean, the actual quote in the Bible is thou shalt not
in the
kill.
Septuagint, which is the origination of the Bible that we're reading, is thou shalt not murder.
So you're not using the King James edition of the Bible?
The NKJV.
So you just wrote your own Bible?
NKJV, we use the Septuagint. Where did the King James Bible come from? Do you even know?
No.
Then what are you talking about? I have no idea about the historic standard. It is thou shalt not murder.
So you just got the quote wrong, though.
What? It's literally ask Google while I'm sitting here. Is it thou shalt not kill or thou shalt not murder? Ask it.
In older translations, it is phrased as thou shalt not king, and in newer ones, it's thou shalt not
murder. So I was right again.
I mean, we were kind of both
No,
right.
You were just wrong.
It's thou shalt not kill in some versions.
You've been wrong this whole debate.
And it's thou shalt not kill it, murder in others.
No, in the original, the translation.
In the original, it was thou shalt not kill.
Yes.
And then they changed
no,
it to
it's
thou
murder.
shalt not murder.
It's murder.
But it's both. It was both. Anyway, so God just only, so you cannot murder.
Yeah.
According to God. But the only justification for murdering or killing, either one, is self-defense, according to your God.
Well, it depends on what we're considering self-defense to be. There can be other instances where there could be justifiable killings that fall outside of self-defense.
Like what?
Well, I don't consider it murder if I'm working on top of a fucking bridge and I accidentally kick a wrench off and it falls down and it hits somebody in the head and they die.
Well, I think that's negligence.
I don't consider that, but it's killing someone. But I don't consider those categorically the same because I think murder requires intent.
You don't, or God doesn't.
Same. It'd be the idea of intentionality.
Okay, so under your religious framework, intentional murder.
Yeah.
Okay, intentional murder is bad, right? Can't do that. Or you're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
So then under your religious framework, forced doctrine is immoral.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I mean, it is.
Can you explain how?
But why do you deserve a cookie from women for not choosing to murder us?
Now you're just changing the goalposts. You just said under my religious framework, forced doctrine's immoral. Now fucking demonstrate it and stop playing games.
Excuse me?
Literally demonstrate it.
Oh my God.
Demonstrate it.
I love it when you get mad.
Demonstrate it.
I mean, under your definition of what is moral and immoral based on your God, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but under that definition, it would be immoral to suddenly impose your will using coercive power on a woman and kill her or murder her.
Wait a second.
Either one.
I'm sorry. How does this in any way dispute forced doctrine?
It disputes the morality of you thinking you deserve a pat on the back for choosing not to murder women every day.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. Let me.
I mean, you started this. Hold on. Let's go back because you started this debate by saying that women.
I just can't even believe this.
No, I mean, Andrew, I just feel like you're just struggling to understand your own
you're right.
ideas.
I am struggling to understand.
You started this debate by saying that women should thank you. We should thank you so much.
They should, yeah.
For choosing every day not to violently harm us and murder us and kill us.
That's right.
But your God tells you not to.
Yeah.
So why should we thank you for following the basic rules of morality set by your God?
So then I think
you haven't done me a favor.
So then in this case,
you've just gotten yourself into heaven.
So isn't the logical extension of this that you should thank my God?
That's not you though. Why do you deserve credit for that?
Then say thank you to my God.
I'm not saying thank you to your God.
Well, then what are you even talking about?
But you started this debate by saying I should say thank you to men, to you. Why?
No, I actually started this debate explaining
you were actively just proven wrong because you wanted me.
Not only
to
was I not proven wrong,
but instead I should be thanking you.
You got to stop filibustering.
You just conceded.
Are you going to let her filibuster the whole time?
It was a concession.
You got to let him speak.
Okay,
please.
well, after your concession, let's hear your.
All you do is filibuster. So look, we're going to make this super easy. Actually, at the start of the debate, you're wrong. I said only through my view can rights be justified for anybody, including women. Only through my view of God can rights be justified. And what did you end up doing here? Proving that the only justification we've ever come up with for why any of this would be wrong, right, or otherwise is my God.
No,
you
Andrew,
have
that is not the only reason.
You have presented nothing.
I'm using your ethical
stop
framework.
filibustering.
Okay,
Fuck, stop filibustering. So all you do is filibuster.
Just let him finish, though.
Well, I mean, at some point, you have to let the other person speak. So the thing is like, look, not only have we demonstrated that it's only through my God, and I guess you should thank him by your own logic, but you've never created a single standard yet for how your morality is anything other than preference. In your internal critique just now, all it did was ratify what I said at the beginning of the debate, which is that I don't think rights can be grounded through anything but God. And guess what you established? Well, guess what, Andrew? Rights can't be established by anything but your God. You're right. They can't. I agree. And on top of that, let me just point this out. The entire first part of the debate on the preferential end, all you did was describe how morality is preferential over and over and over again.
No, I didn't.
So if it's the case, only through Christian ethics can this be grounded, right? And in your worldview, now, through your worldview, can you explain how forced doctrine is wrong outside of preference or not?
No, Andrew. By the way, what I was just doing is proving through your own ethical framework why you don't deserve shit. You don't deserve a thank you for women from following the teachings of your own ethical framework brought to you by your God.
So then,
whether or not I agree with whether or not I agree with the framework, you have created an ethical framework that puts the moral onus on your God. So you acting morally is not some gift to me and to womankind, but it is what you were told to do by your God. So why would I thank men? Why should women thank men? That's what you wanted. You wanted a thank you from women for not killing us, for doing the absolute bare minimum, which your own ethical framework acknowledged is the absolute bare fucking minimum.
But that's you're just making my point. And by the way, let me just point this out.
Me to thank God for making men do the bare minimum.
Let's just point this out.
Let them answer.
Are all men Christians?
No.
Then should we thank them?
Well, yes, they're following their own secular ethical framework that is teaching them not to just maim other women.
So you should thank men. So you should thank men.
Well, I mean, not you.
But you should thank. I didn't say me. I said men. So you should thank men.
I guess I should thank natural law. Thank you, natural law. I agree.
How does what?
Because it's objectively immoral. Because it's objectively immoral to kill people, Andrew.
It's objectively immoral. I just can't demonstrate it.
Do you not think that killing is objectively immoral?
Only from my view, but not from yours.
No, from everyone's view.
No, not from From
literally
it's not literally
view.
From everyone's view.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, no.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Fine. From Muslims' view, from a Muslim's view, is it objectively immoral to take away rights from women?
I mean, I'm not Muslim.
Oh my God. From a Muslim's view, is it objectively immoral to take away rights from women?
But I haven't studied the Quran, so why should I be the one answering on behalf of Muslims?
Is there anybody does North Korea take away rights from women?
North Korea takes away rights from everybody. Didn't you say you wanted to move
And
there?
women?
Well, everyone. It's an equal opportunity.
And women?
Oppressor. Sure, yes.
And women. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the case is like, if South Korean men go in there and put a stop to that shit, should the South Korean women at least thank them?
The South Korean
North Korean women? The North Korean women. Should they at least thank them?
The North Korean people? I mean, North Korea is not a state
are the women, they're not people? Shouldn't they thank them?
North Korea is not a state that is oppressing based on gender.
So should they thank them or not?
If South Korea decided to come in to North Korea, wage war to liberate the North Korean people, and they wanted this, then yeah, the entirety of North Korea should probably thank South Korea for being liberated.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So the only qualm that you have here is that you shouldn't thank Christians because we follow our ethics, but you should thank secularists because they have no ethics and just don't do it anyway.
But the difference is the doing versus not doing. Like, Andrew, in North Korea, the South Koreans would have to actually go to war, fight, and potentially die for the freedom of another person. But here, all you have to do is just not murder women. Like, how hard is that to just not murder women?
But that's not an argument.
Yes, it is. Why should I thank you for doing nothing?
Thank men.
Why should I thank men
because
for
at any time they want, they can collectively enslave all women, and they don't.
But at any time we want, we could collectively do all kind of horrible things. Like, why do you think you should deserve a treat for doing the bare fucking minimum as a society?
Here's the thing.
I mean, anyone could abuse their child. Do you think that children every day should wake up and thank their parents? Thank you for not abusing and killing me, parent.
I think that they should be grateful to their parents. Yeah.
I mean, everyone should be grateful to a good parent, but you really think that we, like, as a society, haven't advanced?
It's like a contradiction machine.
Let each other.
You're like a contradiction machine.
I mean, you should thank your parents if they're nice parents, but
yeah, you should thank your parents. Yeah.
Let each other finish,
Andrew,
please.
You should thank your parents because they're nice parents, but not because every day they choose not to abuse you. Again, these are the bare minimums.
You know, it's funny.
Like it's just not doing something.
It's funny to me because like there's such a lack of cogency here. You say that you should thank secular men, right? And you should thank them because they're following natural law.
I don't think you should thank secular men.
You literally just got done saying you think we should thank secular men.
Law.
Let each other finish. Let each other finish.
Which is your form of morality?
Yeah, to an extent.
Then why should we thank your form of morality for doing the bare minimum? You're just following your own morals.
What?
Yeah, why would you thank men who are just following natural law?
I wouldn't thank them. I just said I wouldn't.
Hang on, you wouldn't?
Let Andrew finish.
No, I wouldn't.
Then why did you say before you would?
I would not thank men. I literally thanked natural law like 30 seconds ago, Andrew. You're just not paying attention.
So then shouldn't you thank my God then?
For creating a moral system in which you decide
if we should thank natural law
to murder
if
people.
We should thank natural law, shouldn't you thank my God?
Well, I should, but I'm just not going to.
Oh, okay. So you're just a contradiction machine. Got it.
No, I'm not a contradiction machine. I just don't agree that
was
you
a huge concession.
Andrew, it's not a concession.
Yeah,
you believe that you deserve a pat on the fucking back for doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying I don't believe you do. If anyone does, it's God or natural law or the concept of morality.
I know.
Whatever it is that prevents you from doing horrible things to other people.
I know.
But you don't deserve a cookie for sitting on your couch.
I understand.
Like, why do you think that? Every day we could all go out and choose to commit an act of violence, and we don't. Mm-hmm. You're not special for that.
Yeah, I know.
You're
got
not.
it. I get it.
Okay,
now, can I
then
close?
Why do you think you deserve a thank you?
Can I close now?
Sure.
Okay, great. So now that you're all done prattling, so you just made the concession. You literally just made multiple concessions there that you don't even know yet you made. The first one that you made is, well, I'm not going to thank your God, even though he's responsible for this, but you should thank natural law, the moral system that I utilize, which is incoherent, I've never explained, for why it is that secular men aren't. And it's like, that's the most hilarious contradiction I've heard this entire debate. And on top of that, it's like, look, yeah, do I think that women should probably be just a little bit grateful that it's considering that women are enslaved on half of planet Earth, or at least have way less rights to the point where you would consider them enslaved, to at least acknowledge that men could do this and are benevolent and don't and should be thankful for it? Yeah. But you know what? You don't have to. What you can do instead is you can be like, you know what? I'm a big, strong woman and all women are super strong and we're awesome. And so here's the thing. Fuck men. Okay, they don't get a cookie. That's the least that they should do. But none of that refutes force doctrine, and none of that shows how it is that men couldn't do this and why it is that you shouldn't actually be kind of thankful that they don't, or at least perceive them as being benevolent.
So what about you, Andrew? Do you think you should
What about me?
Do you think that you...
Did you finish your close, by the way?
No, she always interrupts every time I'm talking.
A lot. Is this the close just on this prompt or your total close?
This is my total close.
Total close, okay.
Yeah, so not only that, your massive contradictions on morality were so absurd, I don't even think you realize how bad it was. You have a circular argument that we went over multiple times and you just never got. That even no matter what you were reduced to, you just came back to your own preference. It was completely circular, just over and over and over again. I even demonstrated this just by presenting as an anti-moralist Christian, an anti-moral realist Christian, in order to say, well, mine's just preference. And you spent almost 50 minutes arguing against your own moral system because you didn't even understand what was being said. And so it's laughable to me that as the debate continued and we got into other moral predictors and we got into things about feminism, you contradicted thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. You just contradicted yourself on natural law. You contradicted yourself on natural law again when you said you shouldn't appeal to my God and be grateful, but we should appeal to your moral system and be grateful. You contradicted yourself on your definition of slavery when you said indentured servitude. And then said it wasn't. You contradicted yourself literally literally, 20 minutes ago when you gave a definition for natural law and said it's a collective belief, and then it literally 1 minute later said, no, it's not collective belief. You're a contradiction machine. You have no coherency at all in your worldview. And it was completely crushed. Mine stood up to scrutiny fine. You didn't even understand what I was saying half the time. It's very frustrating, but this was like, look, your first showing, I think you got away with it because of the jar thing, but like this was terrible. You just got absolutely decimated in this fucking debate. It was bad.
Yeah, you said that last time, Andrew.
You did it. Well, you did then too. There was an obfuscation you had then that's not there this time.
Are you done with your close, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, give me 1 second.
While she's collecting her thoughts, guys, we'll do a Q&A session right after, then we're going to wrap the debate, so go ahead.
Okay, this debate I think was very interesting. Now, first I just want to respond to your final claims on our last prompt and then get into my actual closing statement. So,
Wait,
you
what?
said... you finished your claim on the final prompt.
It's closings.
Andrew,
you can include it in your close.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. All right. So, first of all, Andrew, I don't really think anyone should thank anything for just choosing not to commit an act of harm. And if we should, then I think that you should thank every man that's stronger than you for not choosing to, bend you over and rape you, because that's something you would have to be subjected to, too, under your own force doctrine. As a man who physically could not open a jar of olives, you're also putting yourself at risk of being overpowered by other men, and then therefore losing rights that I guess you don't believe exist. Now, I guess my issue with Andrew's debate style is that he only uses descriptive arguments. He wants to argue over semantics. I think collectively we took about 3 hours today arguing, well, the debate was 3 hours, so I'll say 2.5, arguing solely over semantics. And I think the real reason why you do this is because you refuse to defend your positions. You don't want to have to stand up to any scrutiny because you refuse to present your arguments. And the few times you did, you ended up justifying slavery and genocide, which to me is kind of one of the most disgusting things I've heard in a debate. I think that generally you are confused on, maybe the reason you want to debate definitions so frequently is because you're confused on them. You don't really understand what slavery is. You don't really understand what feminism is. You don't really understand what rights are. You don't really understand, we didn't get to democracy, but what democracy is. And instead, you simply want to ask over and over the same 4 questions to try and create a gotcha moment that won't exist. And, I guess this was an interesting social experiment in how much 2 people can annoy each other. And the answer is a lot, but I had a good time. Okay, I'm done.
Does that conclude your closing statement?
Yes.
Okay, we have 2 chats. If any of you want to get them in.
It's gonna be what's his name?
$199 Q&A. Final call on this if you want. We have a few minutes here at the end. Final call if you want to get some in.
Norris donated $200.
Thank you, man.
Rights are entitlements absent duty. Privileges are entitlements under condition. Aren't U.S. citizens without rights since they can be taken by judicial system? Let's make Bill of Privileges. W. Bree Drew.
Big J. Norris, thank you for that statement. We have Pasty George here.
A message from the government of Canada.
Oh my God, it's
Pasty George donated $200.04. To Brown Locks, please elaborate on why men should be thankful to women. Why should we be grateful to just our mothers for giving birth to us?
Pasty, I'm not saying that men should be grateful to women. I'm saying that under Andrew's belief that women should thank all men for choosing not to harm them, then weak men should thank stronger men for choosing not to harm them as well. Because there are men who are also in a position of vulnerability against physical harm. And if a man chooses to not do the absolute bare minimum and commit an act of harm against another man, I mean, I don't believe that they should have to be thanked, but Andrew does. So, anyway.
All right.